Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin and welcome to your latest, not just Chelsea news, but news in general as well. We're going to try and show a little bit more ability to diversify because look, let's be honest, if we keep continuing to talk about Chelsea on a regular, I think we're going to go mad, even though this particular news is related to Chelsea. But the news after that we want to talk about is not entirely Chelsea, but related to Chelsea from a historic standpoint. So yeah, get used to some different type of news all throughout from here on in, because yeah, let's be honest, simply following and reporting on Chelsea will make all of us mad. Check this out. He is as handsome as he is useless. Ladies and gentlemen, who is this particular journalist? Fabio Ravazzani, Italian journalist. Who is he talking about? You can see in a fine print right at the bottom who they're talking about. Well, let's get in on this. It is none other than Joao Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, all of that happy, fantastic, fairy tale beginning, like he does at every club. Every single club João Félix ends up at, the debut is blockbuster, and all of his fans start talking about that. Oh my days, what a mistake. How come no one keeps him? He's such a talented player. And literally, ladies and gentlemen, in about 4 or 5 matches later, these are the type of comments, and this is probably as bad as it gets. I've never seen something like this in regards to João Félix, but it's apt. But is apt, ladies and gentlemen. He is as handsome as he is useless. I mean, this guy, the problem now it's going to be is that he's become an issue for us, because since that debut, I think there's been 5 or 6 other matches and he's dropped stinkers after stinkers after stinkers. AC Milan are out of the Champions League as well. They got eliminated by PSV, I believe, in the Champions League in the knockout stage. And look, I'm not putting solely the blame on him, but he was brought in to create, show some creativity. He was brought in to bring some spark. He was brought in to create opportunities for others. And he's done none of that. He's done none of that. Check this out before we go back on some of the other, commentaries that's been going around on social media. This was the recent match, João Félix versus Bologna. 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots, 0 key passes, 0 big chances created, a hella zeros, 0 tackles won, subbed off after 61 minutes. And I stated, like classic Ligue 1, a royal, gargantuan, biblical, ground-shattering, eyebrow-raising stinker and hooked. I mean, this... I've come to a conclusion in regards to João Félix. And look, I actually came to that conclusion even prior to him joining Chelsea Football Club. I said, look, it's a luxury, signing that Chelsea don't need. There was no need for João Félix. We'll go on for Omar Dion. I know a lot of people are going to say, Miz, you never wanted Omar Dion. Yeah, I didn't want Omar Dion, but I wanted a striker. At least he was a striker. We need to understand the context behind. A lot of us didn't want Omar Dion, but we appreciated the fact that at least he's a striker. We need a striker, and Omar Dion is a striker. João Félix is not something that we needed. It's someone who doesn't fit Enzo Maresca's bill. Enzo Maresca doesn't rate him, doesn't like him. It's all well documented. Many managers, it's so clear now, many managers don't like João Félix. You got Diego Simeone at Atletico. You've got Graham Potter's probably the only one that kind of admired him, appreciated him. Pochettino didn't want him. Frank Lampard didn't want him. I know some of you guys may say, well, Frank Lampard and Pochettino, those are not the managers that I want to listen to. Fair enough. But he was also at Barcelona, and Hansi Flick didn't want him either. And now he's come back to Chelsea. Enzo Maresca don't want him. Now he's at AC Milan, and there's talks about like this. Check this out. This is coming from Mailsport. Chelsea loanee João Félix is branded as a disaster, as fuming Italian press claim even his AC Milan teammates avoid him. I mean, this is turning out to be a mess. Chelsea report is saying Chelsea loanee João Félix has been slammed by the Italian press following AC Milan's latest defeat. Newspaper Corriere della Sera gave Felix a 4.5 match rating and added, the worst on the field. You can't see him, you can't hear him, never a play, even his own players avoid him. It's an absolute disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And look, this is a trend. Everywhere he seems to go, starts off well, and then afterwards he simmers down and he absolutely disappears. You start seeing it in his, demeanor, facial expressions. Everything looks very, very distressed, disastrous. I don't know what it is. The only thing I can think about is he doesn't apply himself. He must not. He must not train hard. He must not be disciplined in life. And he probably thinks, I'm João Félix, I've got the techers, I've got the skills, it should be enough. No, my man. You got to grind. You got to graft. And I just feel that he doesn't do that. He doesn't respect the game enough. He doesn't work hard enough. And this is one of the biggest reasons why Maresca didn't want him around, because of his off-the-ball work rate as well. And this is now a trend across many, many managers. So, look, it's a shame. An even bigger shame is the fact that he's going to become a problem for us if AC Milan don't buy him at the end of the season. Joao has to stop, and this is coming from Anthony Lopolo, one of the journalists from Italy as well. Joao has to stop starting João Félix. He's a luxury player who causes a tremendous tactical imbalance in the team and simply does not do enough to justify such importance in a team he's known for 2 minutes. I mean, this is damning. Honestly, ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely damning. The way João Félix is getting slammed in Italy already after just a handful of matches. Wow. I knew the history suggests, the history of João Félix suggests that he's going to flop, but to flop so quickly, and the way, look at some of these journalists, look at what they're saying, man. He's a luxury player who causes a tremendous tactical imbalance. Oh my God. It's over. It's finito for João Félix. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. What do we do? This is going to become a problem. People don't realize the summer window, many problems coming our way. Sterling is a problem. João Félix is a problem. Kepa will be a problem. And many other players that have gone out loan, Renato Viga. So many problems that are coming our way. I don't know how much time we're going to actually have to sort out the squad for next season, where no more excuses. No more excuses. Next season, I'm all gas, no brakes. Do you know what I mean? Jekafar too. We better be to be important in every competition. We better try and win some of these competitions as well. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually a very, very nice news. This is a very, very nice feeling, to be honest. Frank Lampard, ladies and gentlemen, he's doing a madness at Coventry. They're loving him. He's loving them. And he's finally finding some joy as a manager. And look, Frank, one thing about Frank, there's never any shortages of desire and passion. He's all about that. He knows how to get the fans going. He knows how to uplift the morale. These guys, ladies and gentlemen, there were 2 points off relegation when Frank Lampard took over. And now they're fifth. 4 wins in a row for Frank Lampard's Coventry. They are currently fifth in the championship. Well, it's 4 wins in a row, but I think it's something ridiculous. Like they've won. Yeah, there we go. 8 league wins in 9. So, 4 in a row. But Frank Lampard's Coventry are flying. 8 league wins in 9 has lifted the Sky Blues into the championship top 6. Incredible. Look at that. Look at that effort from Frank Lampard. As I said, they were only 2 points away from relegation. Championship, this is where Frank Lampard should have spent his time. I appreciate what he did for us at Chelsea that first season. Considering where our standards are right now, Frank Lampard didn't allow those standards to be dropped too much when he first took over. We had a transfer ban. He had to deal with a lot of kids. There were some senior players, of course, some key senior players, and he managed to still get top 4 because that's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum. Yeah, the next season after, it was a disaster. Frank Lampard, the whole Chelsea managerial position I felt it was a bit too early for him. And then by the end of it, I just felt that maybe he's not a manager. He's just not a manager. Obviously, after that, he ended up going to Everton, worked out for the initial stages, helped them not be relegated. And then after that, it just caught out to him. And that's when I said, look, Frank, why do you so desperately want to be a manager, man? You could do punditry. I just thought that Frank Lampard as a pundit is a far better career. He was a fantastic pundit, in my opinion. Managerial positions for me, I just thought that it was just a bit beyond him. But kudos to him for believing that he can be a top manager, and he's returned back to the Championship, where he really should have grafted all his skills there. He should have grinded there a lot more. If you guys remember, Derby, his first job, he did a fantastic job over there. Didn't get them to actually, no, he did get Derby. No, he didn't get Derby promoted. I think Aston Villa, Tammy Abraham's Aston Villa at that time got promoted as opposed to Derby, but they did beat Leeds, which was a big deal. So look, Frank Lampard, ladies and gentlemen, is doing a madness. This is from The Athletic. Coventry City was 17th in the Championship when Frank Lampard was appointed manager. They are now 5th, having won 8 of their last 9 league matches. Coventry reached the playoff final in 2023. Their sights are set on promotion this season. So look, incredible. Coventry City are dreaming of promotion under Frank Lampard. These are the recent results. It would be mad. It would be magical if he gets Coventry promoted. I think right now he's quite a few points away from 3rd position. So look, he'll probably finish around that 4th or 5th position. The first 2 gets automatically goes to promoted to the Premier League, and then from there 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th do a playoff. If he can still manage to go through playoff and get Coventry to be promoted to the Premier League, I think that would be sensational news for Frank Lampard. In his managerial career, probably one of the best achievements. I know the 4th place finish with Chelsea is pretty good as well, don't get me wrong, but this would be, I think, a tad bit better, being able to get them from being relegated and nearly close to being in relegation zone to then promote them to the Premier League. I think, look, the Coventry fan base, the Coventry City, they love him. And I would love to see him be able to take Coventry to the Premier League and manage Coventry in the Premier League. I think it'll be a challenge far too great for Frank, but you never know. But this rise is something nice to see. I think this man, he's not giving up. I actually wanted him. I said, mate, like seriously, you're not a manager. Move on. And also the second time around when he came to Chelsea Football Club, I felt that kind of damaged a lot of his reputation as well. And look, we weren't at a good place. So it's not entirely his fault the second time around, but I just thought that his managerial reputation would have taken a hit. This sensational news. I need to start watching a lot more of Coventry. I wanted to do a lot more watch-alongs of Coventry, and I think we will start doing a lot more because we need to diversify beyond just Chelsea. And look, Frank Lampard being a Chelsea legend, a fantastic midfielder. I wish we had midfielders like him right now in our squad. But look, his path and his journey in Coventry is beautiful to see. And I wish him all the best. I hope he does get them promoted to the Premier League, and it'll be nice to watch him in the Premier League. You never know. You never know what may happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Frank Lampard and his managerial career so far at Coventry. I think it's a fantastic story, and it will be unbelievable if he can get them promoted in the Premier League playoffs. Hopefully, he does secure that spot completely by the end of the season, and I think playoffs is something that we definitely need to cover in the other side of the coin. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about everything that we spoke about. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time, take care. See ya.